Hello and welcome to yet another Top 10, where today we're bringing you some players who've been on top form at the start of the season. Now, some of these you'll be well aware of, and some might have gone under the radar. Let's kick it off. Number 10, Kylian Mbappe. Starting off with a man who needs no introduction, Kylian Mbappe is already a global phenomenon at just 19 years of age. After 4 goals in his first World Cup, where he won the Best Young Player and became the second teenager to score in the final after Pelé, it's almost inevitable that Mbappe will one day be the best player in the world. Unsurprisingly, the boy wonder has started the season in electric form too, hitting the back of the net 4 times and getting 3 assists in 4 games for the Parisians. Though for all of his world-class ability, Mbappe's petulance has shown at times this year, getting a red card and an eventual 3-match ban for shoving over Teji Savanier of Nîmes in reaction to a late and quite cynical tackle. However, he didn't let it cloud his performances after his return, scoring against Liverpool and picking up an assist against Nice in his first Ligue 1 game back after suspension. And with his expected goals and expected assists at a combined 1.3 per 90 minutes, we're expecting him to dominate France yet again. Number 9, Jadon Sancho. Sancho may not have had a league start so far for Borussia Dortmund, but that hasn't stopped him making a huge impact for BVB at the start of the 18-19 season. The youngster's switch to Germany from Manchester City was a ballsy move, but one that seems to be paying off. The number 7 became the youngest Englishman to make his debut for a foreign club in the Champions League, a game in which he made 2 key passes, and has started his second Bundesliga campaign in blistering form, propelling Dortmund to the top of the table at the time of recording. In just 125 minutes of football, Sancho has provided 5 assists and got a goal to his name. Doing the math, this is averaging 3.6 assists per 90 minutes. Now that's obviously unsustainable, but hugely promising from the 18-year-old winger. We're guessing it won't be long till Sancho gets a run out for his England debut. Number 8, Javairô Dilrosun. Losing Jadon Sancho was a big blow for City, but another departure to the Bundesliga might be one they rue in the future. Javairô Dilrosun was part of Ajax and City's youth academies, but failed to make a single appearance for the Sky Blues during his time up north. Needless to say, the 20-year-old winger is thriving in Germany, scoring twice and picking up 3 assists in his opening 5 games for Hertha Berlin. With Dilrosun, as well as other relatively young players in Ondrej Duda and Valentino Lazaro, Hertha are genuinely challenging at the top. They're just a point behind current leaders Borussia Dortmund. Dilrosun was also trusted to start against Bayern Munich, where he made a clearance off the line and created 1 chance for the Alta Dama as they came out 2-0 winners against Niko Kovac's side. If Dilrosun continues his fine form, then the Netherlands have a chance to go back to their glory days, especially seeing as they currently boast elite young talents such as De Ligt, Van de Beek and Frenkie de Jong. Losing him for just £200,000 in compensation could turn out to be the biggest mistake the City hierarchy have made in the Guardiola era. Number 7, André Silva. In just 12 months, André Silva became a laughingstock in Italy. The Portuguese striker moved to Milan for nearly €40 million in June 2017, and he didn't get a league goal for the Rossoneri until March the following year. His final tally was 2 goals in Serie A, and given Milan's precarious position, they couldn't afford to continue putting faith into a striker who was costing €20 million per goal scored. As a result, the club brought in Gonzalo Higuain, whilst André Silva was shipped off to Sevilla. And though Higuain has already matched the Portuguese's goals from last season, Silva has absolutely exploded in Spain. The 22-year-old has averaged a goal per game in La Liga thus far, starting his Sevilla career off with a debut hat-trick before netting twice in a 3-0 win against Real Madrid just under a month later. According to expected assists, he's unlucky not to have picked up an assist too, so though it may have been a gloomy season in Italy, it's been brighter for him in sunny Spain. Number 6, Rodrigo de Paul. No relation to Sean de Paul, Somigo Soren, Rodrigo de Paul is finally living up to the talent that was seen in him by Valencia all the way back in 2014. The Argentinian winger joined Los Che as a 20-year-old, got sent off within 1 minute on his debut and failed to make the grade despite 44 appearances in his 2 seasons at the club. A brief stint back at his first team on loan was followed by a move to Udinese for a mere €3 million, and despite a slow couple of seasons, Rodrigo is finally living up to his promise this year. He's already matched his highest goal-scoring tally in his career with 4 after just 7 appearances, also providing 2 assists to his teammates as his side hovers around mid-table. He may be overperforming in expected goals, but his creative prowess certainly isn't down to luck, with his 2.9 key passes per game the 3rd best in Serie A. If the 24-year-old keeps his form up, then we have no doubt that there'll be some suitors in January, and with Fiorentina and Sevilla holding interest in the summer, some of the big boys might be in pursuit very soon. Number 5. Raheem Sterling. Moving to London at the age of 5 and growing up in the shadow of Wembley Stadium after his dad was murdered in Jamaica, how can anyone dislike Raheem Sterling after his rise to the top? Apparently, the media, who constantly target him for no reason, and their gammon readers, but once again this season, he's proving his critics wrong. The 23-year-old has scored or assisted 35 goals in his last 39 Premier League appearances, and so far this campaign has 4 goals and 2 assists in his 6 starts. That's relatively in line with his expected goals and expected assists, overperforming very slightly by 1.3 goals and assists combined. But it isn't just end product which makes him so good. Sterling's averaging 2.3 key passes a game, taking 3 shots, but also completing 2.5 dribbles, and he tops every winger at Manchester City in all 3 of those categories. Whatever the average dimwit fan has to say about Raheem Sterling, ignore them. The kid who dreamt under Wembley's arches has proved himself to be one of the best players in the Premier League. Number 4. Nicolas Pépé. Ligue 1 has produced some incredible wing prospects in the last few years. From Ousmane Dembélé to Ismaïla Sarr, there's now another name on the scene, Nicolas Pépé. The 6-foot-tall wide man has contributed to a goal a game this season, and he's on his way to beat his 13-goal tally from last campaign. Astonishingly, Pépé is actually underperforming his expected goals so far, with his 4.8 shots per game being mostly high-quality attempts, as 2.9 of them come from inside the box. In fact, only Nabil Fekir averages more shots than the Ivorian at present, so he's keeping some elite company in that regard. Wide men Pépé and Jonathan Bamba are propelling Lille up the table, with Les Dogs looking to qualify for Champions League football for the first time since 2013. Number 3. Krzysztof Piątek. When Cristiano Ronaldo joined Juventus, he must have thought he'd finally escaped the threat of Lionel Messi outshining and outscoring him in the league. Unfortunately for him, there's a new sheriff in town, as Genoa's Krzysztof Piątek is scoring for fun in Italy. Hardly an eye-catching purchase in the summer, just €4 million from Cracovia, the Pole has gone off like a rocket, with his 8 goals in 6 appearances in the league being the best start to a Serie A season for 70 years. Though we would advise to hold off on any bets on him being the top scorer this season, as his stats are pretty unsustainable. Despite getting off 4.7 shots per game, he's overperforming expected goals by 5 already. As a result, Cristiano may have the last laugh by the end of May if he tops the goal-scoring charts. But for now, let's just appreciate Piatek's unprecedented start. Number 2. Eden Hazard. After a brief retirement in the 15-16 season, Eden Hazard is en route to have his best campaign in England to date. Following his exquisite performances in the World Cup, which earned him the silver ball, Hazard is finally showcasing his talent in full under Maurizio Sarri. For the first time in the Belgians' Premier League career, he's playing for a bona fide attacking manager, releasing him from the shackles put over him by Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, and it's paying huge dividends for the Blues. With an average of 1.3 goals and assists per 90 minutes so far, Hazard has only failed to have a goal contribution in 1 Premier League game he's appeared in this season. The Belgian is just behind Adama Traoré for dribbles completed per game, and he's in the top 10 for key passes. With these sorts of performances, it's not a wild statement to say that he's been the 2nd best player in the world so far in the 18-19 season. Number 1. Lionel Messi. Number 1 spot, as usual, could only be filled by this man. To all of us here at FD, he is the greatest ever. Get over it. And even at 31 years of age, the little magician still wows us every time he graces the pitch. Casually starting off his 15th La Liga season with 5 goals and 4 assists, it's frightening to think that Messi could have more than doubled his goal tally already if it wasn't for the woodwork. And just like he did last season, the Argentine is leading La Liga in assists, shots per game, key passes per game, and dribbles per game, showing he is truly the complete attacking footballer. It's not just the league he's started well in either, scoring a hat-trick in his opening Champions League fixture as he aims to win the trophy again for the first time in 4 years. It's hard to believe that Messi wasn't in the top 3 for the best award, but as long as he still helps Barcelona achieve domestic dominance and challenge for European silverware, we doubt he really cares. So that's all we've got time for, but who should we have left out and who would you have included? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then make sure to check out Stat Wars the League, which is now in full effect, and head over to Football Daily for tonight's live watch-along of Tottenham versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Make sure that you like and subscribe.